Welcome, my friends, to Cuentame USA with Moncho Camaño for the other people. I have a very special interview today for many reasons. We're gonna discovering a lot of stuff during our conversation today. I'm speaking right now with Czarina. She's
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you, Czarina. She's what can we say about Czarina? She's maybe a box full of surprises. Uh, she makes use of so many diverse music genres. Is a very eclectic artist and much more. We're gonna find out. She's very special and different. I just found out not that long ago.
It's great. No, I think people are still discovering me.
They're
I'm
discovering.
I'm
So
still relatively new.
I'm one of them. I'm one of those guys, the new fans that she's gonna get. So the new one. Uh, so thanks so much for your presence on my channel today. And I believe you are in Spain today.
I'm in Spain. I'm in Galicia. Costa
Calif-
de Morte.
Costa da Morte, very special place.
Very
Death Coast, if, in English, I guess.
Coast of Death.
Coast of Death. It sounds horrible, but it's not. It's not.
No, it's not. Actually, I think it's really cool that we're called Coast of Death because
Yeah.
just sounds very piratey. Um
Yes.
we do have
Shipwrecks, all the shipwrecks and stuff. Yeah.
we have a pirate flag literally flying outside by our house, like right at
Oh.
like corner, like next to our house. There's a flag. Yeah.
So if I ever go visit you, if I see a flag, that's your house.
That's yeah,
But
that's
the
yeah,
pirate flag, that
that's
must
my
be
house.
Serena's house. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's midday over there today, Costa da Morte. I want to say I'm not that far from there. I was born in Muros in Spain, because now for some reason they try to include Muros also part of Costa da Morte because I guess tourist reasons, but it's not. It's not part of Costa da Morte. I don't know why they say that. It's not. Malpica, the Bergantinos, they call it. That's part of Costa da Morte. So, but
Like
not my town. They keep that's not right. It's
it's
not right.
okay. Galicia overall is just
Yeah,
really
but
amazing and magical. Yeah.
yeah, wonderful villages, the beautiful ocean, so many things we're gonna find out. So, thanks so much again, and I'm gonna be embarrassed because I'm gonna say I was at your town, Malpica, 2023, and I missed the lighthouse over there because one of
Oh,
you, I never went. I don't know.
well, we
I'm
have a lot of
embarrassed.
lighthouses here. We have plenty of lighthouses.
Yes, but one of them is where she
The
where
Cara
Serena
Canaria. Yeah.
where Serena filmed the wonderful video Wonderland, and I see the Punta Nariga, it's called the lighthouse, and I'm like, this lighthouse, I never seen it. Where is this? I'm like, this is this is in Malpica, and I've been there so many times. I never went. I'm like, oh man, I have to see Serena's video to figure out where it is.
It's a bit of a drive from actual, Praia Mayor in Malpica. It's like about like a 10-minute drive,
Mm.
but it is quite a destination. Whenever my friends come over and visit, it's the first place that I take them to because it's also the first place that our dad, my husband's dad, took us to.
Hmm.
And that was the very moment that my perspective in life completely changed. It like really changed me. That place is so magical.
Yeah.
And the song Wonderland actually came to me the very moment I set foot in that lighthouse. It was
Wow.
incredible. It's such an experience that I've never had before in my entire life.
Yeah. So I never went, and it's beautiful. It's not like it's a new construction, maybe 1990s construction, and
Yeah, it's a 90s.
yeah, very unbelievable the way the shape it is, the triangular base, and so it's really. I have to stop next time. I will have to stop. So very very nice. So I was gonna say beautiful beautiful views from there, and it's amazing the coast. We can talk about tourism in Spain, but we're gonna talk about Czarina's music, But it's nice to some people maybe in Alabama decide to go to Galicia. Who knows?
Well, I don't mind being the unofficial ambassador.
Right,
Kind of became that, like, ever since I started making my music videos, ever since I started, ever since I moved here, my music videos have been centered around
right,
the
right.
beautiful epic landscapes and seascapes of
Yeah,
Galicia. It's such a huge privilege to live here. And then
yeah.
and what I love about it the most is that it's so underrated, It's very, and I think the best places in the world really are
I
truly
know.
very quiet, very under the radar, and it's just one of those like wonderful surprises in life that if you come here, it's like, oh my God, a place like this exists. Like, whoa.
Yeah,
It truly is a huge honor and privilege.
yeah. It's beautiful. I don't know. I lived there for many years, but let me tell you something. My house faces the seaport, so you see all the yachts and ships coming in the morning and all this. And my wife, she's like, "Oh, what a beautiful view! We have breakfast, we look outside, this and that." And then she says the next day, "Yeah, again." But every day we see the same thing. I'm like, it's not true. You don't see the same view every day. You see the different ships, the weather changes. Some days it's foggy, sometimes it's raining, sometimes it's not the same view every day.
That's every day.
It's a beautiful view, but every day we see the same. It's not the same. Come on.
Never the same. Yeah.
Never the same. So let me go back a little bit to your past, which is not that long ago. Uh, I believe you were born in the Philippines,
I was
right?
I was born in the Philippines, and during a rather tumultuous time in Philippine history,
Right.
it was under a dictatorship,
You-
um
Okay.
and my family luckily were able to make a way for all of us to move to the United States. So I moved to New York. I was very little, like I was maybe 7 or 8,
Oh, okay.
I don't remember
I
exactly.
wasn't sure how. I know you were young, but I didn't know how young you were.
I was very young, and no, 6 or 7. Yeah, much, maybe even younger. And yeah, it's New York has been pretty much my entire life, all the
Hmm.
way till, until the pandemic, when my husband and I decided to move to Galicia. But yeah, I grew up in New York, thoroughbred New Yorker. We lived in Queens, different
Right.
parts of Queens, and then I even moved to New Jersey for a very brief period, since my family eventually moved to Kearney, and then but I eventually moved back to the city, and when I got a job and
Right.
got married, and then yeah, and basically
Yeah.
stayed in throughout.
Yeah. Yeah. So you lived in Queens. Uh, so I did a lot of research. Serena kept me busy for the last week. A lot of times I go, I interview artists and they got a one record. Well, okay. There's not much I can find about them. But Serena, there's so much information regarding her career and everything she has
I
done
like
so
filling
far. She
out.
like, oh man, what is this? Oh man, I didn't know about that, about all these interviews and stuff. She kept me busy, which I enjoy, especially listening to her music. So I read that you went to I guess we could say prestigious Fiorello LaGuardia High School music. I mean the music and art school, very famous for the movie Fame. Uh, so
That's my high school.
so yeah. So I guess your parents were very culture and musically inclined. Was there a lot of music playing around your house? Were there?
I think there was an obsession over music. We were very artistically inclined, the entire family. Like, my father was an architect,
Hmm.
and who also was a bit of a polymath, and who also enjoyed music and, could play instruments, could sing really well,
Hmm.
and also very artistic, like, visual. and in visual and fine arts. So like that kind of laid down the groundwork for me and the rest of my siblings.
Mm,
And yeah, there was a lot of focus on the arts, whether it's drawing, painting, playing
mhm,
music, singing, and I went through all of that and actually went through vocal training. I was being prepared for Broadway at a very young age, and but by the time I hit my early teens, I decided that I didn't want to do Broadway. Um,
okay.
and when I went to high school, it was I actually decided to go for art for to focus on art at Fiorello LaGuardia. And
Mm,
to my mother's dismay, because I got into both music and art programs, and I decided to go for art because I felt like I
mhm,
wanted to keep music as more like my passion, not really like
right.
a route towards to any, you know, potential career down the road. And so this entire time, I was actually trained as a visual artist and as a designer. So after LaGuardia, I went to pursue footwear and accessories design, uh,
Right.
FIT, which is Fashion Institute of Technology in New York, uh,
Right.
following my sister's footsteps because they also went to fashion. They went
Okay.
to fashion, and they started their own children's wear empire where I wanted to start, you know, get somewhere
Right.
in footwear.
Right.
Yeah, like my the entire time I was trying to pursue music on the side where as I was also focusing on my footwear and fashion career. And then
Mhm.
and at some point I was able to balance both of them. I was able to start a band. I was in a progressive metal band.
Right. I read that. I didn't hear the album you put out yet, that you guys put out. Ico Star, what's it called?
Called Ico Star. Yeah,
Ico Star.
we had it wasn't like, I wouldn't say it was a fully fledged album. It was more like a demo. Our
Oh, it
demo
was.
out there. Yeah, I'll send you a link.
Well, it's in Spotify. I saw it.
Yeah, it's like the link is on Spotify, but it's a demo. It's not
Oh, it is. Oh, okay. I
I
ha I
think
had a
we tried.
question.
I think we tried to put together an album as best as we can, but then at the end, of course, back then, and mind you, this was I'm like carbon dating myself right now, but this is way over 20 years ago.
Well,
Like,
you were still at the Fashion Institute when you had the band. Am I right or not?
yeah. And then I started and then I actually started my footwear career when I still had the band. And
Ah, okay. Yeah.
it was great. It was a great moment. Like I had the band
Yeah.
for 6 years or something like that. And
Well,
then until my shoe career took off.
okay.
And I had
Hmm.
to unfortunately hit a
Let go.
yeah, I had to hit pause on music
Hmm.
and to focus on life, to get
Yeah.
my situated, especially in a city in New York where, New York
Yeah.
is a very, very, very tough city to live in.
I know.
Survival mode, like unless you come from such like privilege, from a privileged family, like otherwise, no, it's like the city will really like eat you up. Like,
Eat
so
you
I had
up. Yeah.
to focus on my career and I had to
No.
making money, and I had a very, very,
Yeah.
very humble beginning,
Mm.
and so that
Yeah.
took over.
I have a question regarding that band again. I'm sorry if maybe I'm the uh do you guys play at CBGB?
Yeah. We
Okay.
played before.
This before I was going to ask you because it had to be before I guess this maybe the same year 2006 when they closed down the venue. Is that right? I don't know.
Like we were very active. So I started the band in around end of 2000 or early 2001. And
Hmm.
um I remember this distinctively when 9/11 happened. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do go pursue what I want to pursue. So that's
Okay.
how it started ramping up, like, in the early 2000s. So we were very active. We were
Yeah,
active
you
playing
mm,
between 2001 all the way until 2006, like, when I had to let go of music.
mm,
And we played all of those legendary halls like CBGB's Continental, Don Hills, North.
right.
We had a very even I forgot this place in New Jersey, but it's in Hoboken. But we played Hoboken.
Maxwell's maybe could be.
Maxwell's. Yeah, we played all of these amazing, amazing venues back in the day.
Yeah,
And it was fun. And it was like, and then MySpace just you know, got started around that time. So we had a great MySpace following.
unbelievable.
And then towards the end, we were actually on such a great stride, but unfortunately,
Right.
I I was forced to drop it because it just wasn't sustainable at that point anymore, and I had to work,
You have to make some money.
I had to make money.
So you created your own brand. Was Ivy Kirchner, I guess.
Yeah, it was so going back just a little bit, like I worked in the industry for quite some time, and
Hmm.
um, like I started in 2002. That was, I think, 2002 is my first real job in the industry. And then by the time, and like, and I had a great, great run. It was such a great moment. Like, I helped establish some brands, and it got to the
Right.
point and I felt like I hit the ceiling. Like, I was working for
24 hours a day.
it was a lot, yeah, but also I felt like this is the furthest that I could take my career. I think it was like around 2011, 2012. I was already working. I was already an executive at that time, and I was
Mm.
um a creative director. And I was doing well, but at that time I was getting really tired, and I also at the same time I felt like I'm not going to progress any further. I'm not going to grow anymore.
Mm.
And so it was time to kind of just go and, you know, start my own thing and take everything that I learned. So I
Mm.
started the brand Ivy Kirshner in 2012 and launched it. And
Mm.
it's an amazing time. It was so phenomenal. Probably I would say the golden era of my life. Um, it was very loved by celebrities, by influencers. It was a perfect moment too because it was the influencer culture just got started. Instagram just launched. So
Right.
like it was an amalgamation of a lot of great things, like, lining up, and it really catapulted the brand into such amazing
Right.
heights and places. And we were in all the department stores, a lot of department stores around the world, and specialty retailers, and at the same time being loved by celebrities. And then unfortunately, like, just with a lot of businesses, some of my own internal partnerships weren't working out. It went on a very, very dark and terrible direction. And
Mm.
I again also I got tired. It was a small company. I didn't have more than 10 employees at that
Oh,
time.
really?
Yeah, I was pretty much
That
doing almost everything
that's
from meant to be, finance and
all right.
design,
So
product,
it was a
travel.
lot too much load for you to carry, no?
It was a lot. Yeah, and then it was great, and at the same time it was taking its toll. And so I also understood my limitations
Mm.
during that time, and my life actually kind of crumbled under its pressure. And
Right.
I was married before to my first husband. That got taken away, and then
Right.
um, like, and then at that point I was like, I don't think that it's worth worth it for me to continue down this path. And there was like this, you just feel it. You just feel it
Right.
when it's time to
Right.
close, a chapter. It was very difficult because, you see everything that you built and suddenly it's
It's
about to get burned.
like
Like,
crumbling down.
yeah, you just see it. Like, so I would say that I had a very epic tower moment. It was a tower moment. You see the tower crumbling, and
Right.
I had to kind of just watch all of that. There's just like a huge part of you just
Right.
burnt away or crumbled away, and then you have to witness it and you have to go through it. So that was that
Right.
happened about more or less 7 years ago, 7 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, 7 years,
Yeah,
and
not that long ago.
not that long, yeah. And then, but also
Mm.
I felt like there are certain things that got lost along the way in my life in
Mm.
pursuit of that direction.
Right.
Um, so for number one was music, or being an artist, being creative. So I felt like I was given like a new path. I
Right.
was everything had to be cleansed and purged, so that I
Yeah.
could move on to a new path, and that's when I decided, like, okay, what were the things that I lost along the way that I need to go back to?
Mm-hmm.
The very first thing was music.
Mm.
And that was the start of
Right.
Zarina. And then and
So,
then the reason why I named it Zarina is because, Zarina means empress. Um,
right.
and this is the empress whose empire crumbled, you know, and I finally learned the meaning of how to be a real
Right.
empress. Like, once you go through something like that,
Right.
that makes you, that just really elevates you,
Right.
emotionally, everything, just
Mm.
everything.
So how did you meet this cool guy named Deadly Kawaii? Is he part of the new empire?
He's part of the new empire. He's not just a part of the new empire. He's
He's the
co-founder.
Tsar. He's the Tsar.
Actually, I have to thank music for that because when I launched Zarina, when I debuted my first single,
Hmm.
Silence and Surrender,
Right.
I was, running ads on Instagram. You have to go through that, right? Promoting
Right.
it.
Of
And
course.
he he was living in London at that time, and he found my ad. He found the ad
Hmm.
for Silent Surrender, and he
Wow.
was like, "Who's this new artist?" Like, like, wow,
Who's
cool.
she? Who's this
Followed,
lady?
so he followed me, and I didn't really, whenever I get new followers, like, once in a while I'll take a look at, like, who's following me, like,
Right.
and sometimes I don't, but this time I was like, I should take a look at who's following
Yeah.
the Deadly
Yeah.
Kawaii. And I think
Right.
what was really interesting is that the colors of his Instagram profile matched the colors of my Instagram profile. And I think that's what
Okay.
made me like, okay, you know what? Like, this is strange. Like,
We got something in common.
so like I took a look at his Instagram profile, and then I was like, oh wow, okay. I couldn't tell who it was, or whether it was a guy or a girl actually.
Hmm.
But I just saw a really cool artist, like, with really amazing illustrations and sketches, like, and doing
Right.
all kinds of art stuff, and then as soon as I finally saw a photograph, I was just like,
Hmm.
the another thing that was really strange. The photograph that I saw of his also mirrored the photograph of my single art for Silence and Surrender. It was
Oh.
black and white, and then half of the face was covered, or like, obscured, or in the shadows.
Hmm.
And then I thought he looked like me. I was like,
No, that's pretty, but he looked.
no, you look like we look like each other. And I was just
Right.
like, this is kind of cool. So I said hello, like, thank you for following me.
Right.
I love the vibe of what you do. Like, so let's stay in touch. And
Right.
then 5 seconds later, bing, I got a
Yeah.
respond. And then we haven't stopped talking ever since then. And then,
That's amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was amazing. And then, it was just like, love at first sight, or it was strange, but there were so many
You have so many things in common, I
comments,
guess.
like everything, like for even the most obscure details of things that we're passionate about is the same. It's the same.
Good.
Like, from animes to art and music. It was just like the same. And then finally a
Yeah.
couple weeks later, he was like, he took a leap of faith and he was like, I'm gonna go visit you in New York.
Hmm.
And it was like,
Yeah.
the rest is the story.
Right. You're both into martial arts. Was he who got you through it, or you were already into that?
Well, I trained in Taekwondo when I was like through my early teens, like young adult, like early teens. And then
Hmm.
and but in the meantime, he actually is like I would say a real martial artist. Like he's a third Dan
Okay.
yeah,
Hmm. Hmm. Well,
Buddhist master.
hmm.
So like a huge portion of his life was, I want to say, like what, 14, 15 years of his life was dedicated to the arts. And then so when I'm like, when we got together, like a lot of the discipline that he carries, like, really kind of inspired me to
Hmm.
look go back into it. So he started training me. He trained me in sword fighting and
Hmm.
um, mixed Japanese, like, karate and jujitsu, like, that.
Wow.
Yeah, he's he's very awesome in that. Like, it's one of his greatest talents, actually. And aside for the art and like a lot of the creative stuff, he's
Right.
martial arts is impeccable. And so yeah, I hope, well, right now everything's been saying that kind of got, like,
So,
put on hold.
yeah, be careful if you show up at her house because you may get jumped by the two of them. Then you'll be in trouble. They're ready for you. So, I mean, so many things we could say about Czarina. We could say she's an electronic musician, rock musician, producer, songwriter, film director, visual artist. So many things. She loves mythology, I guess, the ancient culture, what else, a sci-fi lover, martial arts, so much stuff. I don't know. I guess she could write a big, nice book, maybe in the future regarding her biography or everything she has done so far. Uh, so your music is, I guess, is very influenced by so many music genres. I don't know. You do. I listen to. I think the first album I listened. She put out 3 albums under Serena, and I think Arcana was the one first heard. Probably.
That's the one that
Yeah.
I always push for everyone to listen to, that because I think that's where everything really came together
Mm,
for the project, for in terms of sound and perspective and what I want to bring.
mm-hmm.
Uh, the first record, Painted Holograms, it was great. It was more synth and neon noir, a little bit of industrial, dark pop, but
Right.
still like I was still in my transformative phase. Like, and it was still very early in the beginning. It was a solid record, but I felt like
Yeah.
Arcana is where everything really came together. And Arcana was actually inspired by Galicia. It's like
Okay.
it's the first record that I started working on ever since I moved here. Because Galicia just really changed me. It's like, I came from a world that was very urban, and it's very,
Yeah. It's a
I mean,
challenging city.
New York City is very, it's immersed in materialism.
Yeah.
We have to, it's true.
It's true. It is.
New
It is.
Yorkers, yeah, because I feel like materialism or being materialistic is somewhat linked to survival there, or getting somewhere. The more you have, the more
Yeah.
it's like it's a symbolism of where you are in your life, like, and how you're progressing. Like, the higher you climb the ladder, like, the
Mm,
more stuff you get, right? So that's basically how New York is.
right.
And since moving to Galicia, that mindset totally got taken away.
Right.
Where Galicia is so it's all about nature. It's about, there's something pure about this place, and it's humble. It's a lot more humble, like, than New York, and but there's also a lot of respect towards, like, nature, environment, and
Right.
culture, and so that brought something into my life that's completely new, completely different, that I've never experienced before. And
Right.
then also there's a specific vibe here that's very magical. Um, and I don't know if my fellow Gallegos, like, could feel it, but maybe because I came from somewhere else and I come here, and I
But
always have.
I understand, I understand what you're trying to say. I was born there, lived there so many years. I go to, every year I go back, so I know, culture has been changing a little bit, it's not like when I was like 7 years old, but still,
Modernizing, yeah, but there
yeah,
is, like, yeah, when I go to Fara Puntanaria, I really feel it
yeah,
there. There's something alive there. And when I go to Verdes, right, Refugio de Verdes, it's like there's something so magical. Like, it's almost like you can see, like, fairies floating around. Like, it's like fairy kingdom, right? I feel
yeah.
like
Well,
that's what
is that
it
the video that you've, what was that? The fox wedding?
but
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that's
the one. Yeah, I saw. It's
doing
a
the Verdes.
beautiful, beautiful film.
And,
I'm,
and I don't even know if it even captured
yeah,
how I fully feel. I mean, I tried my best with my videos. I try to convey a lot of the things that I feel while living here, like things
right,
that I see, like, or experience, like, and there is a certain magic here. So when I was working on Arcana, I wanted to make sure that those experiences really are deeply imbued in the record, like, they are, that the
yeah,
record reflects it.
yeah,
And that's
yeah,
why, to me, it's still one of the most important things that I've created, one of the most important things that I've done. And people who've listened to the record, like, have also said that they're just in awe of, like, of the level and the depth that, that it carries.
yeah.
And that's what I want to do as an artist. I don't want to just do some or create some, like, poppy, like, catchy music. You sure, I want to make beautiful music, but I
Of
want
course,
something
it
that's
is. It's beautiful, especially her latest album is called Empire. It came out in November 1st. Is there a reason that you chose that date, November 1st, for some, or it just whatever date it is, or
um
you chose
I
that one?
I like the play numbers. So, like, Arcana came out on 22222, right? Yeah.
Okay.
22222. Yeah. So 5-2. So I was trying to replicate it
Because
with
no, I'm
Arcade. Oh, with Empire. Sorry, Empire. So November 1st. So that's like, okay, 11.
that's Day of the Death. I was like, it's a pagan holiday also. Shanghai, I think it's called. So it's the
Yeah,
same day. Yeah.
that's
It's
the
like,
same date. And then, it's from Costa de Morte. So, like, it's great that it came out
yeah,
on from Costa de Morte. Costa de Morte. And then it's also a record about death and rebirth. So
right.
the whole premise of Empire, it's about that cycle of life, like, and it's not about material empire. It's about that soul kingdom that we all carry. It's about what
Mhm.
we all carry inside. Yeah,
Yes.
that's
The
our empire.
first song is called Rebirth. That's the so it's so much stuff that we can talk about. It's so much stuff. So, how did you decide to go to Galicia? Did you previously knew the area. Your husband, I guess he had a house or how?
We so it was during the pandemic and I was still consulting as a designer when I was in New York, but then when the pandemic hit, like, for sure everything got shut down. Like, all of well, yeah, just out of the blue, like, you like,
Right.
okay, all right. When we don't know how long the pandemic was
Yeah.
going to last, so we really thought about what our next steps should be. And we had several options. Like, we like my family still has the house in New Jersey, and then that was the first option. We're like, okay, why don't we move
Mm,
in there for a minute, like, hang out there until things are over. And then we also had West Virginia, like I have family in West Virginia
mm,
who, were offering their house. And then my husband was like, you know,
mm.
like, and he just got his green card at that time. So we were
Oh,
really thinking of we should try to stay in the United States. But then,
right.
you know, I but for some reason it just didn't feel good. Um, he didn't like the idea of moving to New Jersey or moving to West Virginia. I didn't like it either. Um, but then he was like, well, why don't we just, if we're just gonna move, why don't we just go to Spain?
Go far from here, as far as we could go.
We just go to Galicia. He's like, Galicia is one of his, well, Costa de Morte is one of
Right.
his ancestral homelands, and and then his family has houses here, and
Okay.
he was like, I have a house in the beach. Why don't we just go there? Like, and then London was also an option, but I think Galicia was a lot more appealing because of and and
And
I
they
was
got better food also.
yeah, absolutely. And then so we decided to just take the leap of faith and
Right.
uprooted everything. I got rid of like half of my things and sold half of my things and then also shipped
Mm.
the rest that are important. And yeah, life here has been great. So it's been quite amazing.
Right. So you had to, I guess, get a container of full of
Yeah.
stuff.
I had to
Yeah.
take a container. Like, these are just
Yeah.
things that I knew, like, being in the footwear industry,
Oh, you know.
doing a lot of shipments of shoes and, from different parts of the world. So I still
Right.
have those contacts, and so they helped me move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know it's not easy. Let me tell you.
It was not easy and it was very expensive.
Of
And
course.
for sure I
Yeah.
was nervous when I did it. But we're like, you know what? We just have to trust that we're gonna be okay.
Yeah. And so far it's been great. I see all your postings. You open the window in the morning and you can see the ocean and the seagulls and everything and the breeze coming into the house, I guess.
That's just my life now. Just
And
make it work.
you took your dog also, that French bulldog. He's getting old. It's like my dog. I got two dogs. Well,
Hamlet is turning 9 in March. So he's
he's not that old.
yeah, he still looks like a baby. He still looks
Oh, he looks happy. He looks
happy.
happy. He looks happy. He's like the king now. And the king.
Yeah, he loves it. He's definitely living his best life.
Yeah, he's like, this is beautiful. Don't take me out of here. Does he have any any dog friends around, or he's the
Yeah, like they have like this little pack of dogs that run around the beach sometimes, and we enjoy
right,
but his best friend is a boxer that has the same color as him. And it's
right.
funny, them together and they're like the complete opposites. Like the boxer is like nice and tall and graceful, and then Hamlet's like this like little round ball of fluff. So it's
Yeah,
fun. He has his
yeah,
little pack.
yeah. He must be happy and breathing much better air, I guess, than Manhattan.
Sure, it's like, yeah, seeing him is so amazing because it's like, when I would take him for a walk back home in in the city.
Right.
Like, when we get home, whenever I clean his paws, it looks like he like stepped in a coal mine or something. It was
Right.
just gross. So we
Right.
don't have those problems anymore.
No, no. It's true. It's
He has
true.
clean paws. He's clean all the time. He smells nice.
Maybe a little salty, those paws from the ocean, but a little sand. I don't know.
That's the thing. That's the only thing that we constantly have here is sand. It's just
Right. Oh, that's amazing. And I have to go and see her someday. That would be great. Maybe eat some, I don't know, octopus. I like octopus, but what can I say?
pulpo. The pulpo here is amazing.
A la pulpo. A lot of my son-in-law, he hates pulpo. He say, it's disgusting. It looks disgusting. It's not disgusting. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. So let me tell you, I listened to the last album many times. Empire. you know it, it feels like it's more, I don't know, for me. I'm not a musician. I just listen, and I like it. I Whatever. So it seems like it's more musically maybe complex, more music layers than Arcana, or more orchestral, I guess. I don't know.
Um,
It's more
yeah,
precise, meticulous, like very technical, I guess, and very dramatic sometimes. Sometimes the way you sing, your intonation and the pitch, it's like it reminds me of some of my favorite singers. So, and we got that in common because I love Susie Sue. I saw her many times. Also, Tori
she's
Amos is one of my favorite singers. I was
awesome.
crazy about Tori Amos and Kate Bush. I read all you so many bands that we are, like, Nine Inch Nails. There's so much stuff that I really enjoy. That's one of the reasons I wanted to talk to her, because she has so many influences everywhere. But the way she sings, I love that intonation. I do. It's like something that pulls me right in. It comes inside, it comes through the ear and stays there. It doesn't just leaves. It stays inside for a while. So I really love that from the and what can I say? It's something that I really enjoy. I don't want. It's too much, too deep for me to explain in Spanish. I will have to stay speaking in Galician, but nobody's gonna understand. So I'll leave it for next time when I get a better way of saying it. But I really enjoy that. I was gonna ask you regarding those music videos. There's so much stuff. Those music videos, they drive me nuts. It's you. I suggest my viewers to go YouTube, see some of her videos. It will take you the whole afternoon, the whole evening, because there's so many videos, and so you're gonna notice so much stuff. For me, it's like the way she does the videos. She has so many ideas. I guess it takes forever to put all of them together because there's so much stuff. I guess maybe other artists with all those ideas could make 10 videos, but everything she puts in one video. I don't know. So it's so much stuff. I guess you got. Um, your husband to help you out because it's impossible to do all this by yourself.
Yeah, it's just me and him usually. Our dad helps us. He drives us to the
To
location.
take the locations.
And then Hamlet, my dog, helps us sometimes, but it's usually for the most part it's just me and him, unless he has to appear in the video as well. That's what
Right,
I try to like, get some of our friends in the or small film crew to work with us. Like in the Fox's wedding where you
right.
know that's a very big that's a huge music video for us, like to us that actually had like a small production budget, so but usually we would just try to do it ourselves with almost zero budget, you know
Yeah,
we
it's amazing. You make your
DIY
own designs, right? Do you make most of your designs are you
most of the
doing
cost.
yourself, the costumes?
Yeah, we either we refurbish what's in our closet, or we recycle old props and old costumes that we've already created in the past. So yeah, we try to keep it sustainable that way.
Yeah.
a lot of the work is really in the post-production, the VFX, the CGI. That's where like it really comes together.
Mm.
And yeah, it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, and most of those armatures, I don't know, robotic armatures, I don't know what they call it, so heavy, I guess, for you to wear. No, some of them they look very not easy, you know.
But that's okay. It
It's
was
all
really
right.
and then in the last one, Empire, where we had the mechas, um, the giant robots in the mountains. We actually made them ourselves. We got these really obscure, inexpensive mecha toys from the local local shops
Oh,
around us.
really?
Yeah, it was like, they were like €5 and we end up just like destroying each one and then adding like clay and moss and paint and then we added CGI effects on top of them. But
They're great.
we love doing that stuff. Like we just get such huge gratification doing it. And then but we also do it for our own portfolio. We,
Mm,
try to get, projects as well, work with other artists, in their music videos and
right.
and we used to do commercials for certain brands in the industry in fashion and it's so we try to do it just to cultivate our own selves and our own portfolio and that's
Yeah,
why we
yeah.
pull all the stoppers and we work really hard on them.
It's amazing. When you are on location, do you, I don't know, I was wondering, do you come across any like old ladies passing by, like going for a walk or something like, who the hell are these people? What are they doing?
They
Dressed up?
actually it's funny they know us already. Yeah, we see them and we see that oh it's it's Czarina like and her husband doing their thing and
Yeah,
it, I mean we live in a very small town and so
right. It's a small town. Yeah.
it's like
A lot of, most of them know each other, you know.
everyone knows each other here and
Yeah,
it's they so we've kind of created a reputation already for
yeah.
doing what we do.
They're not dangerous. Don't worry. They may look a little strange, but they're not dangerous. They're very friendly people. I mean, when you do these videos, do you have like some kind of concept board with like a storyboard, like visual presentations and
Yeah,
drawings, diagrams? I can see you doing all that stuff, and also your husband, all those ideas aligning and to just reflect the song's message. So much stuff. I'm like, it takes
we
time.
definitely I start definitely with a treatment. I have to have a treatment and a map in terms
Hmm.
of how the video is going to progress. Because you have to be so organized in order to do these big projects that are very intensive.
Right,
Organization is so important. Um, and also I don't get to full storyboarding because in my head I already have that, and also in my husband's head we already have that.
right,
But the time I do storyboarding is when I'm working with a crew. Well, like say Fox's wedding, that was fully storyboarded. It had to be fully storyboarded because we were co-directing it with our videographer. And so we both need to have the map, the blueprint. So he's
right.
checking as well on his end, like to make sure he captured everything, But usually when it's just me and my husband, we already know the shots. And yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It had to be fun. It has to be fun. And you keep doing, getting better every in every video. You got more, you know, it's great. I mean, like I said before, she's keeping me busy, which I like, I got things to do now. Let me watch more videos. And so it's great. I'm going to talk a little bit about your writing methods and stuff. Do you have any like rituals? Do you need like a little drink some tea just to help you stay focused? Because I'm thinking like when you write, you must be writing a lot, but Does everything you write go in a file, or some of them goes straight to the waste basket? Do you?
When I'm writing, I start with sketches of ideas, melodies, compositions. It's funny because usually music comes to me when I'm outside,
Okay.
when hanging out on the beach, suddenly some melody will come or some sort of like grand orchestral arrangement will come. It will
Right.
just come to me, okay, like okay, I would try to just like, play with it in my head. And then I take out my phone and I record it. Like I'll sing it.
Right.
I'll be humming it.
Humming it, or
And
yeah.
and then I go home and I start so that I don't forget, what the sound is. I just go immediately into um my workstation, my DAW, and I start laying out all the foundations of the composition. And
Mhm.
I do a quick recording of the vocals. And I start from there. Like, so yes, I have a lot of different files like that, but I'm also very methodical. So like when I was working on Arcana and on Empire, they already like I wanted each record to have a very specific perspective. So with Arcana, I already knew I want this to really invoke the magic of Galicia. Like I want this to really carry that spirit. So I knew I was going to write a lot about nature, the cosmos, mysticism, magic, mythology, legends, like all this rich
Right.
uh, material that was really inspired by the region, and just by living here. And I wanted to invoke that into the record. And then with Empire, which is the progression from Arcana,
Right.
further more up into the stars. So it's a little bit more futuristic. So it looks it's yeah, it's a mix of the sound of Arcana with futurism. So that's why it's a lot more technical. It's a lot more cerebral.
Right.
It's also a lot of sounds that I put in there were kind of felt more sci-fi, So it's for those records, I already have a blueprint of how each song is
Hmm.
going to sound, what they're about, and altogether they create like a wonderful story or vision for the
Hmm.
record. It's
Hmm.
it's kind of just how I work, where I want to make sure that, when someone's listening to my record, I want to make sure that they're in the journey with me, that they experience.
Right.
To me, that's really important, and of course I have to balance it out and making sure that I have like, some catchy,
Of
more
course.
poppy, memorable sensibilities in there, but I want to make my point across, in each one. So yeah, when I worked on both of those records, particularly those two, there was a very particular blueprint for each one.
Hmm. So I guess we could say your writing, much of it is like maybe half, I don't know, fictional stories and your personal experiences all together, like half and half, or
Yeah, I would say that I mean a lot of it is really deep reflections.
hmm.
I try my best not to be myopic and where it's just like, it's all about like, what I feel. No, that's
Yeah.
why I try to incorporate elements in there that other people will resonate with or other people
Right.
will understand or
Yeah.
um and it's but at the end of the day, it's definitely all deep reflections and there's a message. Like I want to leave a message.
Right.
Um with the
Yeah.
works that I'm going to leave the world with. Like, but hopefully I'm remembered by them. That's just how I think.
Yeah, so far I keep remembering her stuff. But I might listen to a song like 100 times. I don't know what the song is all about, but sometimes I listen to a song one time and I'm like captivated. I'm on the first listen. I wanna, need to look up the lyrics, which I did. So I'm still trying to figure out Czarina's some of those verses, but it takes time and I will interpret them my way, which is good enough.
Yeah, it's all that matters. It's like it's
Right.
how listening.
Yeah. I was thinking, have you ever thought like of incorporating in your music like traditional Galician instruments? I don't know, maybe a
Yeah,
bagpipe or I don't know, or a tambourine,
yeah,
the one with the jingles, metal discs.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking.
I'm actually work. It's like a huge list of. I have a huge list of or running list of projects right now that I want to get to, and one of them is definitely a a project that is mm, very much inspired, much very much inspired by Galicia, and much more inspired than it was in Arcana, where it actually is pulling from traditional Galician traditions, and
Right.
also I want to um incorporate a little bit of my own Filipino
Oh,
culture.
that's right. Yeah.
Well, like, and make that the central point of that particular album or EP, whatever, however that turns out. But one of the things that I love about Galicia and something that is also shared by Filipino roots is the lores and legends of the Megas.
Okay.
And because we also have that in the Philippines, we
Oh
have
yeah, I don't know that. Yeah, Megas,
uh,
the
you
witches, I guess.
have the witches too over there, but the witches here seem to be really powerful. Pretty sure they're watching me, and I can feel them.
Well,
They let their purpose know, and and if it's like a lot of things have happened to me here, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's probably Omega, and I don't know.
Mega, yeah.
I keep
Well,
thinking Omega, and
yeah,
but that is, you
I
know,
I
that's one of the things
understand.
that I always say too about Galicia is like, um, Galicia has an inherent Gothic.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I can tell you, I lived with my grandparents when I was a baby, and my grandmother used to dress in black, all black, and but she washed it so many times it became brown because she didn't have too many.
No, but I was speaking at a conference actually. It was an art conference. Like that was where I debuted the Fox's Wedding. So it was
Okay.
in A Coruña and show the Fox's Wedding, and then the host was like, "So you make like gothic, like dark music, and I was like." And I just realized I was the only one in all of Galicia who makes music like I do, or who kind of identifies a little bit with the goth scene.
Right.
Goths here. And I pointed that out to them. And I was like, this is so, strange because the way I
Yeah.
see Galicia is inherently gothic.
Yeah.
Your megas are your cultural icons of the region. They're important. And
Yes.
they're goth.
Oh yeah.
And then but for some reason, like I have not yet come across a goth artist or dark wave,
Yeah.
anywhere anywhere close to that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
The
You're right.
closest is post-punk. Maybe we've had a couple of post-punk bands here, but I've
Yeah.
never come across like someone who's like, yeah, real goth, or truly gothic and dark.
Yeah, well, to tell you the truth, I haven't interviewed any goth metal bands in Spain, but it's doom metal, maybe. I think a
It's all
couple of,
metal. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, there is a dark music scene here, but it's all metal, and it's
yeah,
strictly metal. It's very gate kept, you know.
yeah.
But it's like, well, like, where are my goths?
Well, the old ladies, they never wore makeup. That's the one thing that I remember. My grandmother never wore makeup, but she looked very mega-like even the way she walked. Oh
Well,
man.
here you don't. I don't. I don't even think that you ever need makeup here. I don't wear makeup. I only wear makeup when I'm doing interviews or whenever I have to play a show. But
Yeah,
here, it's just yeah, very casual, very low
yeah.
key.
So yeah, it's very like I said, I've been listening to the both. I was gonna ask you about the producer or co-producer of the Empire. He's in Pennsylvania? Is that right? right?
Yeah, Von, who's my co-producer, he's based in Pennsylvania, and we send files back and forth together constantly. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he's
also in a band or in a duo called VH and RR, which is so it's Von Herzog and Rob Rowe. Rob Rowe,
uh-huh,
singer of Cause and Effect, the synth pop band from the 90s.
right.
Who also visited me here in Galicia. So even though I've been working with Von a lot, Rob was the first one to come see me here
Oh,
first.
really? Wow. I guess he liked it. He enjoyed
Yeah,
the
he was
stay.
so lovely. Yeah, he like I showed him the lighthouse.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Yeah, and then they were here to and they were here for a vacation, but they were also I think they were on a culinary adventure, so that was like their primary thing was to taste the food of
Right.
the region.
Mm. Just to go back to Empire, it has 8 songs. Did you have to cut any of them? Did you have too many songs for this album ready to go? But because of the time, uh,
The Bandcamp version, so if you
mm,
go on Bandcamp, it has the deluxe version, which is 16 tracks.
okay,
So, and I had to cut some of them because this is the first record that I want to put out a vinyl. And I don't
right,
want to put out a double vinyl because I feel like that's too much and it's too expensive. It's too heavy to ship. So it's like double the cost. I didn't want to do that. So I
right,
decided to have two different releases. And the main LP is actually the core of the record. That is the from start to finish, like the full perspective. So it was 8 tracks. And then the deluxe extended edition has the extra bonus tracks. And the one song that I had to cut out from the main LP was my cover of The Outsider by A Perfect
a
Circle.
perfect circle,
Yeah,
right?
it's the one that had to get dropped. And I was really attached to that song. And I love that song. It's my favorite A Perfect Circle song.
Yeah,
And then so I was like, you know what? I already released it last year anyway as a single. Then
yeah, yeah.
he had, an extended bonus track and, for the record. So I just kept it tight and curated for the vinyl and for
Hmm,
streaming Spotify. Yeah.
yeah.
But if you guys want to check it out, I highly suggest you check out the deluxe version on Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. I was gonna mention all that at the end of the interview because I was looking at it about the t-shirts and stuff. So I guess he has more stuff available. You do a great covers, that special that Citizen Dust from the Tinderbox that album Susie and the Banshees put out. That's a great cover. I really enjoyed it, even a little more than the original one.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I did. I'm
That's
a
a huge,
Su fanatic, but this cover was great.
I love that. I love working on it, and I wanted to make sure that it's different enough from the original at the same time.
Yes.
Also, it was me,
Yeah. Yeah.
really enjoyed
Yeah, I
working.
really enjoyed it. You did also she did a cover of The Cure, which another band that I love, Burn. So it's just really good covers. Any plans of doing any? I don't know. Maybe Kate Bush. I don't know. Who knows? The Dreaming or something.
You're like the 10th person to ask me for a Kate Bush cover, and I think it's time that I actually do one.
But please, not running up the hill. Not that one again. That's enough. I hear
Um,
maybe
yeah,
Hounds of Love or something. I don't know.
maybe one day I'll do
Try
something.
it. Try it. See how it goes. Yes. But I know you have enough with your work, your own personal work. You don't need to search for other stuff. You already got your own thing going. But like I listened to the Empire. I want to be sincere. There are songs that I like more than others. It's true. Like in every other album any artist puts out. Uh, Exoskeleto. I don't know how to say it. Exoskeleto. I love
Yeah, that's
that song. I really love it. I really, one of my favorite songs besides I mean, Rebirth. I like Rebirth. I don't know. Alchemy is also, well, if I say that, I would be naming every song. So, If you would go listen to Empire first, I guess, and watch the video, that would be great just to start. If you want to start with that album, Empire, I don't know. Do whatever you want. Just listen to all three albums, okay? And then you tell me, let me know. Painted Holograms, is it good? Is it like the first? If you put out the first album, it's a great album. So I don't know. You listen to the three of them, to Arcana, Empire, and then you tell me which one you like the most. You could lie also, just pretend that you like this one more than the other. It doesn't matter. Just listen to them and see what happens. I really enjoy listening to the three of them. I don't know. If I have to choose between the three, it would be hard. Right now, maybe Empire because it's the latest one. But if I think about it, maybe I'll go back to Arcana. I don't know. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe the next album, like every artist, they say the next album is the best one. They never say, "Oh, this new album is not that great. Just listen to the first one." They're not gonna say that. Makes no sense. They're all good, They're all good. So I just wish that whatever comes next is as good as what she's been putting out so far. She probably has so many things already going on that who knows, right? Czarina, you got many music files, many things in your mind still cooking and boiling. You're still trying to decipher what you're gonna do next. But are in your plans this year to do some live concert or anything already planned or nothing yet?
Nothing yet, nothing concrete. I'm supposed to. I actually just want to focus on the music videos for Empire.
Okay.
Also, I have a lot of collaborations this year. A lot. I
Hmm.
don't collaborate a lot, actually, and I don't do a lot of remixes,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm trying to open up to that for this year. And also trying to collaborate with people I really, really love and I really admire and adore. And so there's a few in the works right now that are collaborations.
Mm-hmm.
They sound amazing because these guys are so talented. They're so good at what they do. And I I make a very particular kind of music and I have a particular sound and so there are certain things that I'm not really good at and I have no shame in admitting that I'm not good at that like that gothic like club sound, or that hard industrial sound, that let's say like X Dies.
Right.
So like when I'm collaborating with people, it's because they can do that. I'm trying to like
Yeah.
um they're helping me keep myself balanced. And then so I'm trying to experiment more with that kind of sound and yeah, and through collaboration. So
Okay. So we're expecting.
otherwise
Yeah.
otherwise maybe I'll do like a show in A Coruña. It's not hard to put a show together here and we could do it anytime.
Okay.
But so far in terms of like other cities in Europe, like I haven't really thought about it so much, although I'd love to do it. I'm always happy whenever I get invited to do festivals. Like, I'll
Right.
do the feet, but then this year that hasn't
Mm-hmm.
really been my focus this year.
Right. Okay. So I'll be watching. I'll be going this summer to Spain. So maybe she could play and I'll pick
Are you coming to Galicia in
Of
December?
course, I go every year.
Awesome.
I
Yeah,
have
come.
to go. I have to go this year. I have no choice because there was a little accident that happened in front of my house, and I have to fix that. They broke my there was a car accident.
Oh,
Yeah, they got the bakery guy delivering they deliver the bread in the mornings. I don't know in Malpica they do that. Go to the houses and deliver bread, you
yeah.
know. Well,
I've seen those cars.
yeah, well, they do deliver pastries and all that stuff. Well, you know what happens. He parked right up. I live on a hill, so the guy parked in front of one of my friend's house, which is a little up. Well, the car he forgot to put it's a, like it's not automatic, so it's like a stick shift
Oh,
car.
okay.
And the car he came out of the vehicle, and the vehicle came down by itself.
Oh my God. Well, I hope nobody got hurt, you
and
know.
and hit me the front of my house and broke stuff. Well, nothing major, but I have to fix it anyway. But I go every year, so maybe I'll stop by Malpica and look for that pirate flag.
Yeah, you have to stop by Paprika, and you're not gonna miss the pirate flag.
If I see the dog in the window, I know that's her house.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's amazing. So let me tell you guys, go to check Czarina out at her website. It's czarinaofficial.com. And go to Bandcamp, like she mentioned. You can purchase the Empire Deluxe CD and vinyl edition, deluxe edition, I guess we could say. You can even buy a T-shirt. Some are sold out, but she has the T-shirt mothership, the Empire T-shirt mother. I don't know if it's still available.
Yeah,
The
that's still available.
Yeah,
The bundles are sold out
yeah,
because well, with bundles I have to stock on the t-shirts, beforehand. But so those are all sold out now. But you can still get the t-shirts because they're print on demand.
okay,
And so if you buy them, they'll ship, if you're in the United States, we'll ship it from the United States location. Or if you're in Europe, we'll ship it from Germany or something like that. Like, yeah.
right.
Also, we
So
have it in the UK. So that's what's cool about, these things now. Like, you can do print on demand. And
right, much easier. Yeah,
from what I've gathered and seen so far, they're all very consistent and well produced. So I'm very,
cool.
very proud of these t-shirts.
They're not gonna fade in the first wash, you know.
No, they're not.
So also check her out on Instagram, which I do all the time. I see all those postings, threads. I see everything she puts out so far, you know. So I've been taking a look all her reflections of life and stuff. So something to look for in the morning, see what she's up to. What else you can do? You can go to YouTube, you know, which I did, and spend the whole evening watching those great videos. Yeah, take a look at Empire, Ghost Machine, what else? Exoskeleto, Medusa. There's so many great videos. Uh, that it's like watching a movie that's 4 hours long, you know? So it's beautiful. And don't forget to check Wonderland because if you check that video, it will make you go to Galicia and take a look over there and go for a walk. Those beautiful, you know, just go at the coast, the death coast. Take your car, drive around, see what's going on over there. Stop at the beach.
If ever you guys come visit Galicia, I'm
We don't
friendly.
need too many people, okay? But some.
Hi.
Don't overcrowd the area because then it won't be the way it is. Please be careful with what you do over there. Also, you can have those big nice parties at night in the beach, and drink queimada and all that stuff. But be please don't destroy the whole. You know what I'm saying? So take a look at those videos. And let me know what you think about Zarina. My taste is I have great taste in music. So if I love Zarina, it's gotta be a reason. It's not just because no, this guy knows what he's talking about. I don't know how to play a guitar. I don't know how to play a violin. I don't know anything. But I know I still can hear music, which that's what it is. It's good enough for me just to listen and let the music go inside you and try to decipher something, just don't let it go like a background. Music is not good. You gotta pay attention. You gotta pay attention and give time people some time. Don't go on Instagram, on Spotify and listen 10 seconds and jump to the next one. Speak, you gotta, you know what I'm trying to say? Give it some time. Listen at least a couple more minutes, please. Don't listen 10 seconds and say, oh, I don't like this sound. Okay, let me jump to the next one. Come on, give it a chance. That's how it is. You don't just go and get a book and read the first thing and then you just close the book. I say, I didn't like this first sentence. It's got to be a terrible book. I'm not even going to give it a chance. Please read the whole book and then you tell me what. So listen to the whole album, Empire, all the songs, and then you're going to get a result at the end. You want to say it's good or not. Don't listen to one song and just throw the whole thing out. Makes no sense. I don't know what I'm talking about, Serena, but just recommending to listen to your three albums. Okay. You know, just because she lives in Galicia is good enough for me. I really thank you, Serena. I thank you so much. I will keep, seeing what's going on with your life itself because, you
No,
know,
it's such a pleasure speaking to you, and it makes me happy that well, it makes me so happy to learn that you also came from Galicia
yeah,
and that you're also living in the East Coast. It's like both of our worlds, like, kind of, although they're kind
yeah.
of right now, but they're
Yeah, I
also
wish she was in Kearney. I'm like, I'm living in Union, New Jersey, which is not far from Kearney right now. And I'm like, why didn't she call me? I will just stop by and say hello. Now she goes to Malpica and I'm not there. Oh, boy. No, I just hope to see you one day. Play if you have playing live music, I'll show up. I'll stay in the back and so you don't see me and pretend
well,
that
yeah, if you come to A Coruña or
yeah.
I'll definitely post a show in A Coruña so
I'll
that
be
you
there. I'm there all the time in A Coruña too. I'm one of those soccer freaks that goes to see Deportivo. So I don't know.
awesome.
So thank you so much for your time. I know today is Saturday. She probably has many things to do. So just let her go. And another thing, it's time over there. She probably has to eat right now. It's time to eat.
So I have to I haven't had breakfast yet. I'm gonna go.
Oh my God. That's why I could hear something going on, in the belly. I heard some noises. I thought maybe it was the synthesizers, but no, I think it's her. I don't know what it is. Just kidding, just kidding. I don't know what's going on. So thank you so much for your presence in my channel, and you guys. I don't know what's going on next week, but nothing better than this. So you could watch this interview over and over. Not don't listen to me, just listen to her. Thank you, Serena. Enjoy your day and your whole weekend.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.